At Biography Studio, we help people turn their life story into one of these. A beautiful hardback book filled with your memories for now and for the future. Now, there's no question that everyone has a story worth keeping. We all hold memories and moments that we and the people who love us would treasure looking back on for years to come. But the hard part is getting those stories out of our heads and onto a page. And that is why Biography Studio exists. It's also why we built the Writing Studio, a space to bring your memories and be guided step by step until they become a real book. Today, I'd like to show you how it works. Every time you log in, you'll land right here. This is your home and this is where your story lives. So from here, you can either enter your project or you can add other projects and additions, adding more depth to your story if you wish. Let's have a look at this project here and we'll enter the Writing Studio. Immediately you'll see your book overview. From here I can change the title of my book and also the author name. So let's just change the name of this. We'll call it My Story. And then I could change my author title there if I wanted. You'll also notice that your book already has a shape. So we thought hard about how a life actually unfolds and built a framework to carry you through it chapter by chapter to ensure that no stone is left unturned. So let's just click the school days chapter here. You'll notice there's a paragraph at the top here that sets the scene and the scope of this specific chapter. This helps you to focus on the elements of your story that the chapter covers, and it's really part of the magic that helps you dig deep across a whole life story. If you don't want to see that again, that's collapsible here. And then we get to the questions themselves. The questions are there to ensure you're never struggling of what to write or talk about. They'll ensure that you go beyond the highlight reel of life's dates and places and instead will reach the essence of who you are. You'll notice that the questions are split into two groups. We've got a handful of starter questions in each chapter, and then we've got go deeper questions which are put into groups, and these are collapsible. So there's always loads to choose from and speak about. There's always plenty to draw from, but you don't need to answer all of it. Just to give you some idea, most people answer between 5 to 10 questions in a chapter, and that's already plenty for something rich and full. The questions shouldn't be treated as a checklist, they're prompts. So you should answer the ones that speak to you and leave the ones that don't. The other important thing to note about the questions is that you're never locked in. You can answer them within any order within a chapter. You can jump out of a chapter, jump into another one, answer a question, and then go back out again. And the beauty is that everything saves as you go. So you can do a little at a time, or you can work in big chunks, whatever suits you. And then we get to the point of answering the questions themselves. So all you need to do is click on a question, like this one here, and then you can type your answer. So I'll just click here, and then I can say, yes, there were. If I want to use voice, I can just click this button down here, and then I can speak, and the words will flow naturally onto the page. And then once I want to stop recording, I just click down here again. We've also adapted this to work on mobile. So if I'm on my mobile phone, I just use my native mobile voice recording. So when I'm done, I can just click out of the box or click done, and everything is saved automatically. So you can jump back in and you can see it there. So let's say I finish this chapter now, and what I want to do is review and submit it. So I would click on this tab, and here's all the questions that I've answered with the word count next to them. Obviously I've only partially done 3 here, but if I did 10, all 10 questions would be there. So all I would do is just choose a photo that I could have on file for my computer, and there's a cropper there to help you make it the right size. So that would appear in there. I'll show you that in a moment. And then when I'm ready, I can submit my chapter here. When I click submit, you'll see that there's 2 options. If I wrote the questions and edited them myself and I'm happy with them, I would click this. No, I wrote it myself and I'm happy as written. This would mean that the answers, as you'd written them, would appear in your book. But if, for example, I spoke my answers or I wanted them to be edited, I would just click here. And then this is part of what makes Biography Studio really special. If you select this option, we will tidy your prose while retaining your voice. And then I would submit my chapter there. After submitting the questions, they would go off to be edited, and then they'll come back after a day or so. I can show you what that looks like. So foundations here has already been done. You can see this is a photo I inputted. After the answers have been edited, what you'll see when you enter a chapter is slightly different. So rather than having the questions, you'll see the original answers and the edited answers side by side. You can see immediately that the word count has gone down on this question. That's because the editor has removed all of the repetition, removed my ums, ahs and hesitations and so on, and cleaned up the answer. So the beauty of this is that I can still edit the final answer if I wish to. I can delete stuff, I can add things, I can make any corrections and so on. So that's it. I'll repeat this process across my entire book and submit my photos for each chapter. And then once all of my chapters are submitted, then I'll get a final proof of my book. And then once I'm happy with that, then it will go to print. So that's the essence of how Writing Studio works. The beauty of it is that your whole story is open to you from the very first day. Every chapter, every question, they're all there all of the time. You can write in whatever order you like. If something in a later chapter, for example, jogs a memory from your childhood, you can go straight back there, add a question, edit an answer, change a word, or rewrite a whole answer. You can do it now. You can do it a year from now. Nothing is handed to you one piece at a time, and nothing is locked until you're finished, until you decide it's ready to print.